Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman. Welcome to Illustrate to Educate. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly, objective videos on topics that matter. Should the minimum wage be raised to $15 an hour? In this video, we'll look at some of the arguments for and against raising the minimum wage. Before we begin, let's set the stage. A federal minimum wage of $15 an hour might be closer to being passed, as it is one of the policy agendas of many lawmakers. The discussion around the increase in the federal minimum wage brings a heated debate. Before we go there, let's quickly talk about when the federal minimum wage began. It was introduced in 1938 during the Great Depression under President Franklin D. Roosevelt. It was initially set at 25 cents per hour and has been increased by Congress 22 times. Most recently in 2009, when it went from $6.55 to $7.25 an hour. 29 states plus DC have a minimum wage higher than the federal minimum wage. Now it's time to look at both sides of the debate. We'll start with the pros. One big argument in favor of raising the minimum wage is that higher earnings would improve the overall standard of living for workers who earn a minimum wage by giving them income that better covers the cost of living as it increases. Another point in support states that raising the minimum wage would reduce the need for federal and state government expenditures on financial aid for poor and low-income families and individuals. Those who support raising the minimum wage state that it would improve employee morale and provide more encouragement to put more effort into their job duties, especially within industries that employ workers at minimum wage. This could also increase employee retention and reduce hiring costs and training costs. If employees stayed longer at their company, then they could benefit from advancement within the company as well. Lastly, those in favor of increasing the minimum wage say that it would boost economic growth because consumer spending would increase along with the wages. Essentially, it would put more money in the hands of millions of workers who would then use that money at retailers and other businesses. Now that we've looked at some of the points in support of raising the minimum wage, let's look at arguments against it. One of the main arguments that you'll hear against raising the minimum wage is that it would fuel inflation by increasing operating costs within businesses. This would consequently increase the cost of products and services to cover the increased labor costs. If prices and products and services increase, then so would the cost of living, essentially negating the advantage of raising the minimum wage in the first place. Another argument from those against raising the minimum wage is that it would cause job losses throughout the economy. They point out that labor is a major cost of doing business and argue that many businesses would be forced to cut jobs to maintain their profitability. Another point against raising the minimum wage is that it would force companies to outsource more jobs to less expensive labor markets outside the country, essentially hurting the economy by causing millions more to lose their jobs. Lastly, those against raising the minimum wage say that it would result in increased labor market competition for minimum wage jobs. For example, a large number of overqualified workers would take minimum wage positions that would ordinarily go to young and inexperienced workers. This would make it difficult for younger and less experienced workers to get work and experience necessary to move their careers forward. Did you enjoy this video about the pros and cons of raising minimum wage? If so, please like the video and comment down below about other arguments for or against raising the minimum wage. Also, please subscribe to Illustrate to Educate and share this video with others. If you like this video, then visit my channel or check out my other simple and objective videos to the right.